Hi, Twin Flames. I hope you're all doing well. I'm here again this month with another one of my usual subtle moon phase tarot readings. This time on the waning crescent moon, here and active from the 23rd to the 28th of this month of January, utilizing and only requiring just one card for this particular reading due to the extreme subtleness of this moon phase. The waning crescent moon is a time for surrender, rest, and renewal, and is also here to help us deepen within ourselves in order to understand and get to know ourselves on a more personal level than before, which I'm going to ask we receive help with achieving over these next 5 to 6 days that we have access to as influences at our disposal. This is a very important part of life to be experiencing if you are a deep-souled, deep-hearted twin flame on the journey of finding salvation and eternal life through the portal, current, and channel of pure passion, which is what you and your twin is entirely made of. So you bet we are going to capitalize on this opportunity and even completely redirect to the station or tune if you were out of frequency with it, with yourself for a time. I am also feeling that there are opportunities to receive influxes of light, sort of in this infusion or alchemical type of way, straight from the waning crescent moon in quantum time, deriving from earlier timelines and realities that we've long forgotten about within this current lifetime, which will surely do its part to bring you back home further to simpler times, back to your soul, and leaving you scratching your head and asking yourself, where the heck have I been all this time? By the end of the integration and sort of time traveling experience. Potentially even making you break down to your knees from the deep emotional return and remembrance of it all, flying back into your consciousness. So I'm definitely going to request that we receive this now all throughout our little week with it here. It even working and offering to heal, rejuvenate, and uplift our spirits, while upgrading our mind, perspective, and behavior patterns to a higher, more conscious, mature, yet still youthful and playful level in the process I'm feeling. To continue, more practically, the waning crescent stage is the phase that occurs just before the new moon sets in, and appears as a thin crescent winding downwards daily until it is completely invisible, hence the name waning, which I liken to winding, with the illuminating side always pointing east. Each morning, it rises closer to the sunrise and shows less of its illuminated portion. So now that we've gotten through that brief explanation on what the waning crescent moon is, and even got to learn some pretty valuable pieces of information along the way that we can even apply to our lives and unions following, I think we've been fed enough to begin getting into the reading. So let's go ahead and do it. The card that we'll be using to quickly channel what we need from the active waning crescent moon this month is the Eight of Wands. Upon viewing the alluring card illustration, I began to feel the energies of congruence come to the surface, which came from both sides of the image as the two areas surrounding the butterfly wings sort of pushed inwards and outwards simultaneously in order to convey this back to me, so much that it actually appeared to be moving within the card in real life. The energies of needing to deepen in order to come into one's own and to merge with one's own mind rather than anyone else's then came to the surface shortly afterwards, coming within sensations of both sides of my torso, pushing inwards, squeezing, then pushing up and down in this exact chain of motion as if receiving a massage, opening up my channels on both these sides to allow etheric wind to breeze through these pathways, then all the way up my head to then expel from my nostrils ever soothingly, bursting out of my forehead and crown chakra right as this occurs to end the phenomena in a blissful state of ecstasy. The feelings of having just received a rejuvenating etheric bath is what I was left with once this sort of preview of the energetic transmission was done playing within my body before officially initiating, coming with an immense amount of toxins expelling from both sides of my torso and armpits next, in order to make a final release of everything that was cleared from the much needed bath all in bulk. This major release of baggage, karmic history, fears, bullshit, to be honest, felt as if it were mostly occurring for the divine masculine Christ polarity of the union, whom's now finally inching out of the doghouse and being relieved of his former distorted masculine programming each and every one of these readings we do for them, as they were the ones further behind his divine feminine Christ counterpart, as well as the one carrying the most polluted side of history than she had to carry. But this is also mainly because it's all their fault. Men, right? It's exactly what you've seen on TV and heard about in stories, what we've been clearing out here, folks. As if we've been stuck in a TV, performing community service on it, representing our struggling men, before we're officially able to leave and return back to our regular lives or something. Putting the divine feminine in the role of rescuer for her man throughout this entire process, which is totally okay and absolutely rewarding to be able to do if ever necessary, but not to the point where she's acting out a whole solo dolo hero's journey, secluded in a compartment of the astral plane, trying to readjust his life, her own in the process, while saving the entire world at the same time. Pretty unfair and unbalanced, right? Which is why this etheric bath massage they receive, which I initiate right now, the divine feminine included in all areas the same massage is needed, is going to do its part to shape them up in all compartments within themselves, lacking the perfect state of manhood that's true and perfect to the natural person they truly are. After this, there will be no more excuses to be had or distributed on their behalf and end of the deal. As the strong push to progress forward, which they truly would love to do now more than ever anyhow, that they receive from this free healing will see to it that they come online in the places that they're lacking, take hold of the steering wheel from there, then continue the progression of their lives naturally, like one would do with a sure plane of direction in the real world. On the side, but still true to the story somehow, I am also going to intend that this etheric bath massage clears out the long standing and somewhat hidden, and now incredibly bothersome, I wish I was you spell in programming that billions, I'm being told, of people have been affected with for the past century since the Illuminati stepped into the picture quite interestingly. This makes it so one falls in love with the idea of being someone else, which then makes it so they begin to sort of shave off aspects of themselves, their true selves, throughout time. The longer they obsess with someone, wish to become them, and then start to change or add things to their personality in order to match them in secret, which is something that will no longer fly in the new paradigm of authenticity, the real world and only world to ever truly live in as a normal human being, as it is not okay to sort of eat people, to steal from them, their natural personality, quirks, mannerisms, outlook, for it is personally theirs for a reason, and meant to flourish and go somewhere with time upon their special awakening of this. The twin flame realm has been definitely cursed with this same behavior pattern, implementing it in our unions oftentimes, in order to sort of get into our twins' shoes innocently at first, but then venturing towards wanting to know about every single thing they're doing, the types of things they have, the things that they do, the way they do the things they do, as if it's all extra sparkly, magical, mysterious, or extra special. Ultimately, putting you last behind them, the world before them, and glorifying them into something they're truly not up above you as a byproduct of this distorted behavior. And of course, this same very thing is often done on the divine masculine's end as well, secretively, although they would not like to admit it all the same, which is why it must end, so we may stop spinning in pointless circles, then implement this same playful behavior into our relationship in a higher vibrational, much more harmonious way when in physical union imminently. Once this is achieved, the entire sector of the beast system matrix, supporting this long old but still somehow new and active, I wish I was you spell, will then collapse altogether, so that no one will feel inclined to do this to another, to themselves, and actively constrict and pollute the world around the clock with this cyclical, dead end behavior pattern. And now we are all free to be ourselves and to own this without any guilt, shame, or looking over our shoulder from the fear of someone copying you, knowing that they'll never at least gift you with the credit in return. And that concludes your Twin Flame Ascension Energies reading on the waning crescent moon from January 23rd to the 28th. I hope you're feeling much more balanced and congruent and refreshed after all of that, and that it carries you both forth very well. Subscribe if you feel you receive a lot from these videos of mine. Comment down below if you have any questions or would love to chat about what you've gathered here today. Donate to my PayPal if you feel you'd love to commune and say thanks. And I'll be back here with more enlightening videos for the Twin Flame Collective in the near future. Bye now.